Welcome back again, you guys, to another just chatting and chilling video. So, Niantic, another popular YouTuber, has decided that or his community and all that, is going to write a letter. I'm going to have this on the screen for a little bit, for you guys to read it if you want to. Oh, there's 2 pages of it, so I'll leave it on this for a minute, and then I'll go to the second part, so then people can read both parts of it whenever they feel whenever they feel like doing it. But Niantic, why do we have to keep coming back to this hashtag here as Niantic? This is the second time that we've had to do this. Like, I understand you want the game and everybody to go outside and do what you want outside, but I don't think that's how you should take the game. Like everything that you created and you put on the pedestal is now being just dropped off of it. It seems. And it's not right. Like, we shouldn't have to feel like the game that we enjoy as a community, or even as a single player, or even as somebody who lives out in the middle of nowhere who can't do everything you want, or people that that have accessibility issues, or like our even with like mental health and everything. Like, you guys are like trying to just take everything, cram it all together into one thing, and then expect everybody to be happy with it. I mean, I know that you don't think everybody's gonna be happy with it, but the way that you're moving the game forward is just like, oh well, anybody else who can go with us is gonna go with us, and anybody else is just gonna drop off. That's not how you should try to run the game. You should try to run the game so that everybody can be happy. Like, if they wanna spend $200, $300 just to do remote raids, don't cap it. Like, like that just doesn't make sense for a company anyway. Like, if you're trying to stay at the top, you don't be like, oh well, let me take this away and I'll go up even higher. No, if you take something away, it's gonna make your worth and your value go down. It's not something that you guys should be doing. And I also, like, the person that made this, or the community that made this, like, they had all kinds of videos. Like, hold on, let me find it. I'll post the oh, I want to pause this. Hold on, stop. I'll post in the in the chat for y'all later on, so y'all can go and watch this. Like, it's really, like, disheartening. Like, it really makes me wonder, like how anything's gonna be able to go forward with a lot of the stuff that Niantic is doing. Uh, Also for YouTube, I'll share that well, if you're on YouTube, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. All you got to do is just type in hashtag here as Niantic again, in the search bar or whatever. You should be able to find it. For anybody that's here, the link is in the chat. But there was plenty of different videos from all kinds of different, like, people that were trying to be like, why shouldn't we get rid of remote raid passes? That's just not. It's just not where the game should be going, though, Niantic. You may want to take a step back and actually look at everything that you're doing, and all the people that you're hurting in the end. Because in the end, with your company being so high, you're supposedly like $1 billion company, or what? I'm not exactly sure. I don't keep up with the stats or whatever. But you're supposed to be a really high up there company, and you're making everybody be like, well, why did we even get you that high? Like, it's just not right. And then, like, for all the prices of everything go, like, well, not everything, but the prices for remote raids going basically up, like double. I mean, like for the 3 pack, it's what, like 75 coins off of of being exactly double, and then a single remote raid pass is only 5 coins away from being double what it originally is. Well, instead, why don't you keep the prices the same? Lower the regular ones like you want to 250 or 200, or whatever you guys want to lower it to. Have the game actually be accessible to everybody instead of trying to like cap people. Like that's the cap is what has got the community so upset with you guys. It's not even like, I mean, I guess it is kind of the fact that whatever, you're raising the remote raid passes or whatever and all that, but capping it is what's really getting people. Like, and then like even for the you get the free remote raid pass possibility from the breakthrough box. If you get three and you already have three, and then you go to open your fourth one, you just get a regular raid pass, which makes no sense. But you're all are cool with, if we have two, we buy three, we can have five. Why not just allow us to be able to stack it up until five? And then if we have more than five, then give us a regular raid pass or something. Don't be like, oh, well, if you already have three, you get a raid pass. That's basically telling people to, like, be sure that you get your two raid passes, and then be sure that you spend the 525 it's going to be, so you can be at five, and then just don't spend no more. That's kind of what you're saying. So if somebody wanted to do that, they would only be able to. They would have to do that five, or they would have to do that to get their five, and then tomorrow they'd have to do the same thing, and then the day after that they'd have to do the same thing. But if you don't do it that way, you get three, and then you get a regular raid pass. That just doesn't make sense, like, whatsoever. And then, like, for everything else that's going on with the game, like, you guys have made the game be able to curve its own dead point because of 2020 whenever COVID hit. But now that COVID is being handled way better than it was back then, it's just cool to try to go backwards. Like, I don't really understand like all this like all this stuff with Niantic. I don't it you guys just confuse me more and more. Like, I get it. You guys want everybody to go out and do stuff. Maybe some people will, but I'm gonna say a good portion of people won't. And if you really think that after 3 years that people are gonna be like socially, or want to be like around a lot of social, like, people socially, a lot of people or whatever, have gained, like some sort of, like anxiety or something about being around people, because for basically 2 years, well, about 2-ish years, we were all forced away from everybody. So do you like, hopefully people can see, like, where I'm trying to go with this. Like, we were forced away from everybody because of COVID, and now you're trying to force everybody back together, and just everything be okay. That's not how it works. Hopefully somebody, sees this, and down the road can make some better decisions for the game. Because I don't, if a lot of these decisions don't, like, like get like figured out with things, you may lose more than just half, or less than half. You may lose more than just like what, like 30% of your players. What happens like 2 years down the road? Like something else happens that affects the whole world. Are you gonna have to you're gonna have to go backwards again, just as if it was 2020. Like, like, hopefully you guys can see that it's gonna affect your game in the long run compared to just leaving everything the same and then something happen in the long run to where you have to go backwards. Like this whole going backwards thing, it's not the way that we should be trying to make the game go forward. That would be like taking something from back in what, like the 1930s, 1940s, and trying to put it in the present day. It wouldn't work because a lot of people are like, oh well, with this thing that happened back then, you know, people will possibly be offended by it, or they would have something to say, oh well, this needs to be changed because it doesn't fit with the world now. So, but so now you may want to take a step back, Niantic, and actually figure out what you're planning on doing for the long run of the game, instead of what you think that the game needs to be, or where you think the game needs to be. Like it's sad that this has to repeat. What, every, like, the last time it was 2021, 2 years later we got to do it again. What would have happened if we would have protested back in, like, not really protested, but had an issue with you adding remote raids to the game back in 2020 because the world had was already going to shit. Like, you got to think ahead instead of behind, Niantic. Like, I don't. There's not a whole lot more that the community really wants. They just want you to look forward, say, hey, this part of the game has made us be able to be at the top again. And you guys just aren't realizing that certain things that you did back in 2019 won't fly for a lot of people in 2023. But with that, everybody, I think I'm gonna call it. Hopefully, Niantic decides that they're gonna be or not changing the remote raid passes. Hopefully, we can get through this weird whateverness that they're doing, and hopefully, we can move forward as a community with Niantic to have more fun in the future for the game. But if not, I guess we're gonna have to figure out a whole nother strategy to try to be able to play the game and be able to have the community all at the same time. But with that, I do believe that this is it. Hopefully, all of y'all have a good rest of your day, and let's hope Niantic decides that they're gonna not go through with all the craziness and everything that they've decided to go through with. But have a good day, y'all.